गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम टू गना शॉट। गना शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है। वेयर इज द फील्ड मार्शल? विच परेड इज ही अटेंडिंग? We're going to examine that. Interestingly, I scanned today's morning papers. There's no news about what he's done there. There is news that he's arrived in USA and things like that. But which parade is he attending? There was a lot of talk. He is going to attend what's that? The US Army 250th commemorative parade, Trump's personal, birthday parade, ये वो यार ये तो कुछ और ही परेड में है यार, वो तो इज नॉट इवन सीन एनीवेयर। ठीक है, तो ये परेड तो ये है ना, ये है इसका परेड which is there in this cartoon. I must mention this original cartoon was by Manoj Kuril. I just morphed it a bit. I found it too powerful not to put it across to all of you. Right? So that's what it is. Right. Before I move a little ahead, I had a funny thing from yesterday evening, till today morning. Hardly anyone has subscribed to Gunner Shot. I see subscriptions are almost static. I do hope that, these cartoons encourage you to subscribe to Gunner Shot, but more important than the cartoons, it's the analysis behind this. Okay, let's get going. Now we're going to do two things. One, we're going to talk of how this entire Iran-Israel spat is affecting Pakistan. It's important. Okay. And second, we'll see, look, there are no off-ramps coming up in Israel-Iran war. So we'll go into that. A lot of important developments happening. So it might be a longish session. I'll go through with it. After this, I'll split this into two little videos and put it out later in the day, so that, you get it in good bites. Right. Let's get to the Field Marshal's parade. Like I said, which parade is he on? It doesn't matter which parade is he on. There's a dilemma which he's created for Pakistan himself and everyone else. What's he doing there? This is supposed to be a strategic visit. Let me go through this and I'll get to the analysis. Now, the South China Morning Post says, look, he's gone there for crypto, he's gone there for China, he's gone there for critical minerals, and that's the agenda. Geo TV says, oh, his name has been put in the Times Square and his face has been put in the Times Square, as if Pakistan में Times Square के अलावा और कुछ है ही नहीं, या Times Square में पाकिस्तान के अलावा कुछ है ही नहीं. Okay. Then Don says, Army Chief Munir in Washington for high-level talks. And somewhere one article, very funny, he's supposed to be there for 6 days visit officially. A lot of halla gulla that he's been invited by the White House and personal thing from Trump, and he's going to attend the 250th anniversary America Victory Day, whatever that parade, army parade is. He was not there. There's no one is able to tell. There's no news of this in Pakistani press. Except someone says Times Squares mein aa gaya, ye aa gaya, he's gone for high-level talks to Washington. There's nothing, no briefing, no nothing. And he says, there's some article I read, it says he spent 2 days in USA Central Command in Tampa. That's in Florida. Right? And then this chap Kugelman and that, Michael Kugelman bhi aise hi hai, ye डोल है, इधर भी बचता है उधर भी बचता है. So he says Pakistan wants to cultivate US support but has condemned the Israeli strikes. Okay, and is working to strengthen ties with Tehran. So Pakistan is in whose place, whose side? For General Munir to be in the capital of Israel's closest ally And Iran's primary adversary at such a tense moment could lead to some uncomfortable conversations. Look, one thing is clear. He's not in Washington, he's in Central Command. So if he's in Central Command, his tail is being twisted. Then I go back to this. He's been saying, you get in line. There are reports which came out from Iranian press, saying that Pakistan will nuke Israel 2 days back. Okay, and immediately the deputy prime minister, Shankar, he's said in the parliament, no, we are not going to do that. And this man is sitting there in Central Command. Central Command is controlling operations there. The advanced headquarters of the Central Command is in Qatar, but this man has gone to Florida, which is the actual Central Command headquarters. So, what is this discussion which is happening in Central Command? It has to be Iran-Israel war. And what is he being told? You lay off. Don't get involved. And you will help us. And of course, China will come in, minerals will come in, everything will come in. And he'll be given carrots, he'll be given the stick also. This cartoon tells you that carrot and stick policy is on. And that's why I chose it. So something is happening. Okay. But it'll come out. Will come out. But the fact is that Pakistan's tail is being twisted in no ceremonious manner. In fact, in an unceremonious manner. And then there's certain things which are coming up now in Pakistan. People, war has a funny thing. War, people say truth is the first casualty of war. I agree. But invariably the truth comes out. Or Pakistani celebrated victory, this, that, and all that. Now tweets are coming out from Pakistan. This is something which the Pakistani has put out. Let me say what this tweet is all about. What he said is this. Let me highlight it so that everyone can read it. Iran fired missiles at Israel, and destruction and fire were all visible there. Right? It's being shown, and we'll talk of it later. India destroyed Pakistan's air bases. There are satellite images and footage of the explosion, and I'm forced to wonder why no such images or footage have been able to be seen to this day of the attack on India by Pakistan. A very, very valid question. Why? There are no footages, because the Pakistan didn't cross anything, they didn't do anything. And then they celebrated victory. Or imaginary, downing of 5 aircraft, 6 Rafales. All those trolls, Pauls, and all those chaps are not visible today. Okay. So, and then Eric Trappier, who's the Dassault CEO, he's now come out very clearly and said, no, so many losses have not taken place. You would have gone and counted all the Rafales, or whatever, because that equation would be there. So, sorry. Now people are realizing, and this will induce fear in Pakistan. Let me tell you this, fear in Pakistan. That's my way of looking at it. And then someone else has said, Ahmad Noorani. I don't know who this chap is. He's got a lot of following. He seems to be a well-respected journalist. So what has he said? Again, okay, this is something serious he said. He says Israel Iron Dome is far better than Russia's S-400. Many of Iran's missiles were intercepted by the Iron Dome. So first he said Iron Dome is better than S-400. Then he says Iran's missiles were intercepted by Iron Dome. But still some hit targets. Then the question arises, why couldn't a single Pakistani missile or a single drone reach mainland India? Right? And how did the S-400 shoot them all down? Go ahead and curse me. Say whatever bad things you want. Call me a traitor or biased. But do think about it. A single image of destruction after an attack on mainland India, a single piece of evidence, a single video, a single report from international media, zero. Narratives have a way of getting back to people, and this is what is happening in Pakistan. Any sane-minded Pakistani will think, "Yaar, kya ho gaya? We were supposed to down 6 aircraft, and we are climbing on top of a pole and saying victory, victory, victory." They're saying, see, the thing is this: it's not one-sided; it's two-sided. We are seeing images of Israel hitting Iran. We are also seeing images of Iran hitting Israel. Both sides. In Op Sindoor, we only saw images of India hitting Pakistan and no other images of Pakistan hitting India. So what is this great thing they've done, victory they've done? In fact, it's now very clear. See, Asim Munir being there demystifies a lot of things. He would have gone to Asim Munir and Shahbaz Sharif would have gone to Trump and said, "यार मैं हमें बचा लो." He would have said, "हम बचाएंगे, आप कीमत अदा करो हमारे लिए." Then of course, Trump would have played his trick. अब कीमत अदा कर रहा है, उसको बुलाया गया कि भाई इधर आजा, सेंटर कमांड में बैठ, जो हम बोलेंगे वो करो, या जो भी करना है आगे देखेंगे. This I'm not going to leave it at this. We'll take it to the logical conclusion. Israel-Iran war can go on. But as far as I'm concerned, India-Pakistan is important. It can be matched only by India-China. We'll handle both together. And we'll handle that also. Don't worry. Right. Okay. Now, I'm going to show a few clips. Right. And we'll see where Pakistan is thinking. Okay. Things are getting interesting. This is Netanyahu's interview with someone, I don't know. But I understand this is viral in Pakistan. And you hear it and you'll know why. So we'll make it a little bigger and now you can see it. And hear it. And we'll talk of it later.
Mission that we have is to prevent a militant Islamic regime from meeting up with nuclear weapons or from nuclear weapons meeting up with a militant Islamic regime. The first is called Iran. The second is called Pakistan. Because if these radical regimes have nuclear weapons, they will not obey the rules that have been obeyed in the last almost 7 decades.
Right? So this video is going absolutely viral in Pakistan. So he's very clear. He says first Iran and then Pakistan. And if these radical regimes have nuclear weapons, not good for the world. So now Pakistanis are worried. यार हमारा नंबर आएगा अभी इजराइल के ईरान के बाद, हमारा क्या होगा? So it opens out a lot of things. That's why he's run to USA कि भाई बचा लो, अब इंडिया ही नहीं ईरान भी, इजराइल भी ठोकेगा हमें, और टोकने का क्षमता है. So new things are happening. Remember, we'll talk, and they're worried now. They must be really worried. Okay. And then look at this. Look at what this chap says.
खुदा न ख्वास्ता इसके बाद उसकी एडवेंचर, उसके दूसरा निशाना पाकिस्तान हो सकता है. इसलिए पाकिस्तानी कौम को और पाकिस्तान की हुकूमत की जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि वो जितना अपना सफारती ताल्लुकात या जिस लेवल पे कर सकते हैं वो अपना किरदार जरूर अदा करें.
So they're very scared. Now they're talking about this in their parliament. कि भाई वो उसका खत्म हो जाएगा तो हमारे ऊपर आएगा. So what can they do? एयर डिफेंस तो डाउन है, चाइना के ऊपर निर्भर किया. China has come against Israel, so Israel will not listen to China. nor Russia. And I'll talk of that in the second half of this episode. What happens to them? See that worry. They see that, I call it cough. Now, Pakistan so far had 4 borders, no? One with India, one with Iran, one with Afghanistan, and one little one with China. 3 of its borders were unstable. There's no doubt about it. Now Iran is also unstable now with this what's happening. The 5th border or the 5th front was the CPEC. That is also unstable. Now the new 6th front has opened against Israel. When Israel finishes off with Iran, they might turn to Pakistan. So Pakistan has to think. And now, recently this is something. Okay, let me go back. Why do you think this is happening? Why do you think this fellows run there? Because Pakistan doesn't have money. Simple. And what is? Look at this. What this chap says in this video, and then we'll talk of this.
इनकी इंटेंशन ये है कि चीजों को छुपाना है. अभी भी कई चीजें, जिस तरह आज हमने एक सवाल किया कि भाई आपने एक अलाउंस जो है अनाउंस किया है फौज के लिए, आप बता दें कि वो कितना अलाउंस है और उसका इम्पैक्ट क्या है. नहीं बताया उन्होंने. प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में नहीं बताया. बार बार पूछा, नहीं बताया उन्होंने. और इस तरह इशारा करते रहे. तो इस किस्म की सिचुएशन.
इसका क्या मतलब होता है?
खामोशी. अच्छा, दूसरी.
So what is this? This is that allowance which has been given to all Pakistani officers, 50% of their pay, and JCOs, NCOs who are at 25%, 20%. So on one hand, their air defenses are down, everything is down, they're screwing their own economy. They have given themselves a 20% increase in their defense budget and a 50% increase in their pay. And all this is not going to happen so easily. All this execution and their patches. अभी तक तो उनका वो एयरबेस ठीक नहीं कर पाए, बाकी तो बहुत दूर की बात है. Their airbases are not yet repaired. So they're absolutely flat out. Okay, they're exposed. That is why Pakistan is running there. And of course, USA is using it. Let's be very clear. USA is using it. The equation between India and USA will sort that out later. We have to rethink, but that's a different ball game altogether. I've done this basically to let all of you understand what is the game going on between Pakistan and USA, and the new outlooks which are coming ahead. It will be interesting. I'll do the analysis as I get the thing. Okay. Now let me get to another thing. Today morning, Pakistan has come out with a joint statement. They're trying. You see, Pakistan does all this nonsense. They've come out with a joint statement. And this joint statement with all the Muslim countries where they have denounced Iran, where they have, they've spoken for Iran and against Israel and a lot of things. So Pakistan is beech mein na. He's trying to put his foot in and say, oh, I am the leader of the Islamic world. Ye bhi try kar raha hai. But no, except I don't see it in any major way anyone has picked it up. But Pakistan is Pakistan. This is the kind of a guy we have next door. Okay. For him, we are an existential crisis. Just like for Iran, Israel has become an existential crisis. So that's how it is. And that's how we have to handle Pakistan. On that, we should have no doubt whatsoever. Okay. Now, let's switch. Okay, 1 minute. We'll now talk of Iran, Israel. There are no off-ramps. What's coming ahead? Okay. Now, before I go ahead with my prepared set of presentations to all of you, I'd like to highlight one thing, one very interesting thing which I saw today. I saw this in the morning. And okay, I think I need to highlight it fully. Just before I started the thing, he says, yeah, the Islamic Republic has spent decades seeking to eradicate Israel. Now, Israel seems to be pursuing the end of the Islamic Republic. Very powerful statement, right? That is okay. Yeah. So, all this while, Israel has been saying, we'll finish off Israel. Now, the flip is happening. Is it poetic justice? Is it strategic equity? Whatever it is. And this is geopolitics. And geopolitics may you shouldn't shoot your mouth off before you can actually do it. The way I look at it, Iran is buying because it bit off too much than it could chew. You know, when Iran had tremendous influence, till it had Hezbollah, till it had Hamas, till it had Houthis, till it had those Shia groups in Iraq. The moment they started getting cut off, Israel got the upper hand. In Iran, it should have known where it stood. And it should have got onto an off ramp. But it has not. Now, neither Israel nor Iran are on any off ramps. There is indication that Iran is seeking an off ramp, but it's not come out very clearly. And maybe something will happen. This entire business is on the crux of a change. Something will happen in the next 24 hours because Trump has quit the G7 conference and is coming back to pay attention here. There are reports that USA might enter the war. There are also reports that Israel seeks an off ramp. But that's in the future. What's happened? Let's go into that. There are a lot of strikes. There's all the strikes. There's a map which shows strikes both sides. The strikes on Iran have been tremendous. But equally, there's some strikes on Israel also. It's a two-way match after all. But the thing is, Iran doesn't seem to be capitulating as of now. It might be under tremendous pain and getting hit. Even if Israel is completely dominant militarily, did I say Iran? No. Even if Israel is completely dominant militarily, Iran has not politically capitulated. Till that political capitulation comes, this war won't finish. It's going to go on. The political off-ramp Iran has not done so far. And so far, the cost for Iran to stop this war or the cost for Israel to stop this war has not come. Both have not paid enough cost so far to seek an off-ramp. And that's where it is going. And I've said this yesterday, day before also. Iran is a tough nation. It will take pain. So will it seek an off-ramp? Even if that off-ramp is, if it seeks an off-ramp, it will be to seek time. Even the Iran-Iraq war, long back, Iran did seek an off-ramp. But I'm not getting into that. So let's see how things happen. What's the Israeli action which has happened in the past, say, 24, 48 hours? The State Information Center has been hit. We all know that a lady with a chadar and the black hood, she was spewing Iranian, propaganda, death to Israel type, and that State Information Center was hit, and she had to run away. Very powerful image. The command center of the Quds force has been hit. The Quds force is a combination of CIA and special forces, or Mossad and special forces. That's been hit. So the efficacy of certain actions by Iran has gone down drastically. There's no doubt. Uh, Israel has been targeting the Iranians' military chain of command. Israel has issued a evacuation order for Tehran. A lot of people are evacuating. Their people don't have petrol. They don't know where to go. There's chaos. In the process, after each deadline, Israel is going ahead with what it wants to do. They're hitting out in central Iran those targets which they have chosen earlier. They're taking out missile launchers, and I'll talk of this a little later. They're taking out missile launchers clinically. Like fundamentally, you might have any number of rockets, missiles, and all that, but you need launchers to launch them. So you have to get the launchers out, and this has been my argument from long. I've written a piece long back, about 3 years back, when the Nasser came up. I said, look, when you want to hunt for Nasser, don't hunt the ammunition, don't hunt for the nuclear warhead, hunt for the launchers. You can't put a Nasser on every launcher. So the launchers of Nasser, if you kill Nasser. Same thing with Israel is doing now. Look, all this is fundamental logic. Many times this fundamental logic is cast aside. Old people like me, when they speak, yeah, tere ko kya pata hai? But it's all being proven in battle. Okay. Israel is targeting Iranian security, the security forces, infrastructure, oil infrastructure, everything is going. It's aiming to degrade the Iranian state. So you will see that the economy was already in a bad shape, it's going to go worse. Why? Regime change. There's no new news of any destruction of nuclear sites. Israel has expanded the war effort. They started off with hitting the nuclear sites on the first day, 2 days. Now they're hitting infrastructure. They're hitting military targets. They're hitting everything. They've got complete dominance over the skies. They can do what they want. They've reached that level of military dominance. Militarily, I think Israel is on a high, and I don't think Iran has many answers left. What has Israel hit? All these. I'm not going to go into the details. It has hit nuclear centers. It has got nuclear places, Natan, Fordo, Isfahan, everywhere. Oil installations. It has not hit this Karg Island, which is here. Okay. It does not hit this Karg Island. The moment Karg Island has hit, all the Iranian oil exports which go through that, we can't go. If that happens and it chokes, then there'll be an effect on global oil prices, and we'll just come to that. Who will get hit most? China. Now there's the Fordo site. This is a three-dimensional view of the Fordo site, which people want to hit. They say this is the area deep inside these mountains. There are about 3,000 sophisticated centrifuges in this. This is a three-dimensional sketch. And there are tunnel entrances here, about 5-6 entrances, and there's a support building. It's to be seen whether now that Israel has got complete dominance over this area, will they go for these tunnel entrances and close them off? I mean, if you can't do bunker busting of these centrifuges, and you close them off, close the tunnels off, and seal it. And don't let Iran enter that. That be part of the political deal, whatever it is. Or will US get into it and say, you first do the sealing, and then we'll put 2-3 towards the end and burst them off. So we'll see how it unfolds. Okay, this is Natan's. All these squares which I'm showing here, again I'll show it full. Yeah, they've damaged the electric substation, equipment here, some power building, and a pilot fuel plant here. But there's also news that the main centrifuges which are underground have not been hit so far. There is damage, but the damage is not deep. Okay, right. Say this is also in Isfahan. Isfahan also, you have a look at it. You see that there's damage here, there's damage here, there's damage here. It's not clear what the extent of the damage is. But if you see this damage and the number of nuclear strikes, the nuclear scientists who have been taken out, and the other destruction which has happened, the nuclear capability has not vanished. It's there. Enriched uranium could be there. A dirty bomb could still be there. We don't know. So far, that's not come out. It might come out, it's not there. ये भी मैं मानता हूँ. I'm not saying this is one-way street. So what is Israel up to? That's the analysis. Israel has damaged the nuclear thing. So the Iranian nuclear capability has probably gone back by a couple of years. On that, let's not have doubts. That's gone back. Now they're hitting the industries. So probably they know which industry to hit what, and then the nuclear scientists. So that capability leadership is off. Their military leadership is off. Their economy is being hit. So now the wider game is regime change. The question is, can Israel do regime change on its own? Other issues, even if Israel does regime change, you have to understand in the past 30, 40 years since the Shah himself was not a great guy, incidentally. The requirement of regime change came because the Shah was corrupt completely and he didn't bother about the people, and regime change happened. And these clerics are radical, there's no doubt about it. There's an unhappy population, there's no doubt about it. Even if that unhappy population comes and there's a leader who is who somewhere I saw another, the descendant of the Shah is speaking, they'll get him back, put him. Radicalization within the country is there. That backpack danger is not gone. So you're going to see Iran completely unstable hereafter. Whether Israel achieves its aim, or USA achieves its aim. But then the larger question is, what is their aim? What is their aim? Will they achieve that aim? That is I'll come to it. That's the thing. There's a beautiful piece by Lise Doucet in BBC. I would suggest all of you to read it. Where is Israel's operation heading? It explains everything. It started against nuclear and military. That's okay. You took out everything. Now, what is Israel up to? What's the end game they're looking at? By bombing civilians are also getting bombed. Will they come towards Israel? Or will they rally around the flag? Or will the radicals cow down and say, hands up, put the white flag up? They might, like I said, they might put up the white flag militarily in the next 24 hours. But politically, they'll say, okay, we'll come to the negotiating table. No more fighting. You've not taken the nuclear weapons out, so it's back to negotiations. So what have you achieved? The popular feeling which is coming out is this will not finish till USA enters the war. And what about oil prices? There's a spike here. Will this go up or go down? And we'll just come to other issues. Now let's talk of the Iranian angle. We'll talk of the Iranian angle. Why is Iran's retaliation not so great? Okay. I mean, I didn't know this. I don't know whether this is right also what I'm going to say, but let me put it, because this is what I found in Guancha. Very interesting. I found this in Guancha. And mind you, China backs Iran completely. All complete Chinese media is singing the Iranian song, whatever. They're anti-Israel for Iran. And this fellow, he's come out with this article. Have a look at the heading and then I'll talk. He says, Iran has suffered heavy losses and the strategic shortcoming is not only anti-special. Okay, leave that. Now, but interesting thing is what he said is this. What he makes out is, and he's written it. He says Iran has a huge range of ballistic missiles. There's no doubt on that. But most of them are liquid missiles. And the problem with liquid missiles is, I mean, if you know rocketry, and let me tell you, 51 was a rocket, liquid rocket. And I know what liquid rockets are. I'm now talking on very firm ground, having handled them. After all, I was there in the second launch of Prithvi as a major. And I'm talking now 35 years back. Liquid rockets, liquid propellant based rocket. Liquid rocket means propellant. As against solid are ready to fire. Liquid are not ready to fire. Every time you want to fire a liquid rocket, you have to put liquid into it and then prepare it. There are technicalities. It's not simple. You can't store liquid inside a rocket. The oxidizer and the fuel, two things you have to fill. You have to fill at the last minute. That's a preparation cycle. And you can't do that preparation where the rockets are. You have to take the rocket, you get the launcher, you do preparation, and then put this on the launcher and fire. And that launcher can't move very far with liquid rockets. These are technical problems. And that's what he says. Okay. He says liquid ammunition needs to be maneuvered to the firing position on the missile launch and fired after launching. This process is time consuming and dangerous. I agree with him. I mean, he's hit the nail on the head, which I put something in place. Why Iran has to put up the white flag. Look, the air defense system of Iran is finished. It's paralyzed. He says it's paralyzed and suppressed electronically. Okay. Iranian ballistic missiles launcher that left the bunker at the first time to prepare for a counterattack was attacked intensively. At least 4 launchers were destroyed during the maneuver and 1 launcher was about to leave the bunker. So now that means that Iran doesn't have retaliatory capability also left. In the next 24 hours, I expect Iran to have no retaliatory capability. They might launch a few weapons, but I don't think much will happen. Okay. See, he also says, till such time Syria didn't fall, till such time Hezbollah was there, till such time Hamas was under Iranian control, and Houthis were being supplied by Iran without any problem. And till such time Iraq, between Syria and Iraq, Israel was Iraq, that was also under Shia control in some form, or there was an unimpeded flow from Iran to Lebanon. That's broken. The moment Syria fell, Israel's reach extended. See, again, one has to understand this. The moment Syria fell, Israel could reach Iran. Iran couldn't reach Israel. Now, Israel is fighting within a fortress. Whereas Israeli planes are refueling over Syria and hitting Iran. Iran doesn't have an air force. That's gone. They were based on F-14s of 70 vintage, all gone. F-104s and all, which were given American, mind you, and a few Soviet type of aircraft, which were given by the Americans and the Soviet people long back. After that, Iran doesn't have a air force. Iran doesn't have a great navy. It has got its revolutionary guards and some this thing, but no one is going to invade Israel, and they have only missiles, and their missiles have got tremendous shortcomings now. It's all coming out. What does Israel do? It will finish off this entire thing, I think, in the next 24 hours. Either Iran will have no missile launchers left, or their missile launchers will be incapacitated or will not be able to fire. And then if they do fire one odd, they might fire. That's about all. Nothing very great. Right? And he says in the end, Iran can do nothing about it. That's where it is. And then there's another article in Guancha which says key facilities have been transferred underground and ground damage does not affect core functions. That is what, he's talking of the nuclear facilities. That's known. Nuclear facilities are down. We've said this earlier also. But now the whole shape is changing. If there's a new regime, if the regime change takes place, then you can go and decapacitate Iran as part of supporting the new regime. And that is where USA has to come in. Without USA, Israel can't do it on its own. Who'll put their leg on Iran? You can't go into Iran and, operate there. Israel can't do it. Remember, there's a lot of Iran which is still radicalized. Mulladam. What has Iran hit? Yeah, this is very clear. It has hit around Haifa. It has hit around Tel Aviv. And this is where I want to remind everyone, and any Westerner who's seeing this needs to understand that, look, you couldn't show one place which was hit by India, or rather, the Western world couldn't show one place which was hit by Pakistan in India in a map like this. And then you guys went and supported that Pakistan was the victor. What a bloody narrative you buffoons have put out. I'm sure some Westerners will be seeing this. Okay, Iranian missiles have hit the Haifa refinery. How much? We don't know. Tel Aviv has been targeted. But the Iranian government is not about to fall. It is weakened and it has a profound risk. As far as Israel is concerned, the pathway ahead is not very clear. And still people feel diplomacy is the best way. That's what Trump has been saying. Oh, after all this, Israel, Iran is now saying we'll come to the table. They should have come to the table on day one when I gave them 60 days, not on the 61st day. And they're going to have more pain. He said so. He said very clearly. He said this in G7. He said that before, and he'll go and say that again. So Iran will use diplomacy to wriggle out of the whole story and live to fight another day. And that's what we said. I also said, and Brigadier Rumail Dahiya also said 3 days back. I mean, we knew that this was going to happen. But the acid test is politics. What are the options which Israel has? Sorry. What are the options which Iran still has? It can widen the war. It still has that option of widening the war by hitting Gulf countries, Saudi, Persian Gulf, Bahrain, Qatar, all these. It can still close the Strait of Hormuz, right? It can hit Israeli synagogues, all that. Some institutions it can hit. It can still attack American troops. But increasingly that space is closing. But if they do any of these actions, USA will come into the action. And that is what Iran is trying to avoid. Iran does not want USA to come in. If USA comes in, then the whole dimension will be different. Many in USA must be itching to get in. And Trump has made it very clear, you touch any of these things, I have no choice but to come in and I'll give you more punishment. One article says Iranians say they want a deal, so does Trump. This statement I put out so that you understand the story as it is developing. The Iranian FM, Arakchi, he says, we are prepared for any argument aimed at ensuring Iran does not pursue nuclear weapons. So they very clearly said we don't want nuclear weapons, but will not accept any deal that deprives Iran of its rights, including the right to enrich uranium, albeit at low levels that can be used for civilian purposes. So that gives them a leeway to continue enrichment, but also violate enrichment, violate things for further enrichment. So, they're leaving their escape door open for tomorrow. Right? See, that's what Israel believes, Israel's view is that any deal of that nature will allow Iran to enrich uranium to a weapon grade later day. If you allow them to enrich, tomorrow they will become weapon grade. Right? And Israel is very clear that it wants a safety net, escape wall there. Will all this be agreed to? We'll see. What one thing is very clear, Israel cannot wipe out destroying, or it cannot destroy Iran's nuclear program. It can't do that without American involvement. And hereafter, there might be a few bunker busters or whatever happens, but it has to be political in nature. So the question is, will America enter the war? There are, in media, they say they will. We don't know. Okay. And Trump so far has said, the indication is that he's waiting. He says, look, let Iran get punished enough. Then finally they will come to the table back. He's playing a waiting game. Deal kar raha hai wo. Okay. When will Iran come to the table? When their nuclear program is adequately degraded and they can't hold out with their military. I think the military is already on the last legs. But the thing is, without army, you can't take this further. Netanyahu is very clear. He wants to scuttle any deal. He is very hell-bent, very clearly he has said everywhere that I'm going to finish the nuclear program off. Iran wants to get back to negotiation. The deal is the best way forward. But will it happen? Question. Big question mark. At this point of time. Eventually a deal will happen, but will the deal making start in the next 24 hours? Possible. But will a final deal happen? Let's see how it goes. Germany, France, and Britain, they say within the next week, something will have to be done. Oh, this brings me to another question. The collapse of the Crick theory. See, 4-5 months back, a lot of people started talking of, China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, having a new axis of evil and axis of this. They'll now give an alternate world order. That's all gone. Let's be very clear, that's finished. Dead as a duck. So all these theories, I didn't subscribe to it. All these theories which people were talking, a lot of Indians also started talking. They didn't understand that this doesn't have legs to stand on. I was always of the view China will never do anything. Because China mein dam nahi hai yaar. People didn't understand that. And how can a country which is at war start a quadrilateral? Look, Russia is fighting a survival war with Ukraine, whether you like it or not. It's a survival of its system. And everyone said China, Russia, Iran, this triangle, they did conduct a few naval exercises in 2019 onwards, some are on Yevo, all that. So they were seen as a military force. Now look at it. China is still the biggest military buyer of Iran, dark petroleum, which I've said so. They've invested, there's a deal in 2021, there was a deal. That's what I've written here. In 2021, China pledged to pour 400 billion into Iranian banks, ports, railways, telecom, healthcare over 25 years. In return, Iran agreed to ship Beijing heavily discounted crude. That deal is in tatters. If Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, who gets hit most? China. And China has not put any money into Iran so far. तो ये डील बोलने के लिए it's very simple, nothing happens on ground. And what has China done? China is supposed to be the next superpower and all that, no? All that nonsense. It's all gone unstuck completely. It's only condemned Israel's violation, all that. And the Chinese people are saying, oh no, we can be peacemakers. Who will bloody take this Chinese as peacemakers? So it's not only collapse of Crick theory, China's whole role in this is now limited. He is now at the mercy of Trump to get oil. Tomorrow there's a new regime in Iran, and Iran says, I'm not going to sell oil to you at that discounted rate. All the deals are off, which will be there. And where does it leave China? People say China will win in this whole story. I don't think so. China has lost in Opsindur, which I am very convinced of, which I've written about and I've spoken about, and it's going to lose here. China lost in Syria. Geopolitically, China has been suffering huge losses. In fact, this is something which I didn't cover yesterday. And forget about its economy, its internal problems. Those are multiplicative factors. Way I look at it, China today is geopolitically marginalized, no matter what others talk of. Chinese netizens are talking. Look, majority of Chinese netizens unconditionally support Iran, no problem. But Chinese netizens compared Iran's cowardice to North Korea. They say when the West thinks you have weapons of mass destruction, you better actually have them. Now the realities of this fake thing which is going on is coming out and it's hitting them. China itself is full of fake things. So China is a hollow shell and we have to recalibrate our thinking on China. This is something new. Russia wants this war to continue. Why? Because oil prices go up, people will go back to Russia. And it can sustain itself further. See, this is real politics happening. We have to understand this real politics. Now, Putin feels, look, the focus is on Iran and Israel. Focus is not on Russia and Ukraine. So I'm not under pressure. I'm getting money. Now, what has he done? He has spoken to Netanyahu. He has spoken to Pezeshkian, and who's the Prime Minister of Iran, and he's also spoken to Trump. He's playing all games. He signed a comprehensive treaty with Iran, and nothing has happened out of it. He's playing all sides. So when the push comes to the shove, every country plays to its interests. It's a big lesson for us. That push comes to shove, India has to fight on its own. And that's what this battle teaches, this war is teaching us. And that's what Opsindur also taught us. Why Atmanirbharta is important. And that is why USA is worried about us. Well, we'll get to it later. Anyway, we'll not talk of Putin anymore. But I found this interesting clip. statement of Afghanistan. Listen to it, and we'll understand it has.
سياستنا أننا نريد حل المشاكل من خلال الحوار والتفاهم ومع الجميع. أي من عنده مشكلة أو عنده يريد أن يحل المشكلة فنحن مستعدون تماما.
حوار مع الجميع بلا استثناء، حتى ولو حوار مع إسرائيل أم لا؟
ما مشكلتنا مع إسرائيل؟ واحد ياتي ويقول هل مع مريخ؟ ماذا؟ يعني نحن نريد
إسرائيل البعض يراها دولة وأن قلب أمريكا يعني يمر إليه عبر إسرائيل كما يقولون.
فخلاص إذا كانت عنده مشكلة مع أي أحد تحله. نحن نريد المشاكل التي عنده مشاكل معنا. مشكلتنا مع من؟
أنتم ليست لديكم مشاكل مع إسرائيل بالتأكيد الآن.
أنا لا أعرف يعني نحن هذا هو الإعلام أنه يأتي بشيء من أقصى الدنيا هناك ويخلطه هنا في الواقع، يعني شيء عجيب وغريب.
هذا ليس بعيدا. في الآخر إسرائيل دولة معترف بها من
هل
ستعترفون بها؟ هل ستكون لكم علاقات معها طالما أنتم تغيرتم عن 20 عام الماضية؟ هذا كان سؤالي طالما أن رئيس الوزراء قال أننا منفتحون على الجميع.
نعم أنا قلت منفتحون على الجميع، ولكن الذين عندهم مشاكل معنا. إذا لم تكن ليست هناك مشاكل لجهة أو لدولة أو لشخص.
So it's very clear. Even a country like Afghanistan has got no stake. This is, I'm not bothered about Israel. Why should I be bothered about it? If Israel and Iran have a problem, let them sort it out. The same thing that said between India and Pakistan. If India and Pakistan have a problem, we have nothing to do with it. And they have started speaking to us. We have to understand every country acts in its own interests. Whether it is recognized or not, Taliban or not. Look, Taliban, you say they'll do terrorism, all that. If you know how to handle them, they'll do nothing. They're very clear about it. Okay. So the fact is that this whole story has come to an interesting point. Let me summarize the Iran-Israel story. Iran is completely weakened militarily, right? Israel is completely dominating Iran militarily. It is now on a hands-free mode. It can do what it wants. There's very little defense, military defense left in Iran. They might fire an odd missile, but as days go by, that's gone. So they will have to seek peace. How will they seek peace? The best option now is diplomacy, which we said 3 days back. Iran has to swallow its pride and get to the diplomatic table as fast as possible. And it's now pretty clear, unless they can spring a surprise and say, look, we have this bomb and we're going to do something about it. And there is news that America will jump in. So let's see how this whole story goes. And I'll get back tomorrow, maybe tomorrow evening. By then, I think give 36 hours and we'll get some fair idea as to where it is going. Right? So with this, I thought I'll put this all across to you. We'll join in the evening. In the evening, we'll see where the world is going. What kind of a world is emerging? Forget the world order. A world order we'll talk later. What is this new world which is emerging? This geopolitical world which is emerging. We have to understand the changing dynamics. And I'll get General Hari Mohan. We'll talk about this. Right? And of course, we'll go ahead. And tomorrow I'll get back to China, because yesterday I've spoken about China whole day. But the day-to-day happenings in China and how China is sinking, we should understand the depth at which China is sinking. I'll speak in the morning, and evening tomorrow I'll get back to Iran-Israel. Okay, till then, have a great day. I'll take a few questions and then we'll see where this whole thing goes forward. Okay, Kiran Media, thanks a lot. Please comment on Air India potential sabotage situation. I don't think we should, at this point of time, still comment on this whole story, because, on sabotage, it could happen, it might not happen. Let the investigation complete itself. Why should you speculate beforehand? Okay, that's it. Let things happen. We should be patient in this whole business. Okay. Yeah, thank you for so much for asking the cartoonist to update the cartoon. Like I said, this is all of Kuril. Munir thought he was invited for a military parade in Pride Parade. Yeah. Good morning, General. Uncle Sam is looking quite satisfied. And Porky Lady failed by Field Marshal. I agree with you. Hans, good morning to everyone. What should India do to bring back differences in Pak army and civilians? Should we influence local politics? The time has not come. We have to do slowly. Let things happen. Nothing is going to happen in a hurry. At this point of time, the people of Pakistan have rallied behind the flag. Understand that. Breaking it, let them break on their own. What do you think India's plan is to do with Indus water? Is water flowing to Pak? It seems like abeyance says, no, it's not right. The abeyance will have effect. And this is not it's a slow strangulation. Please understand that. It's not going to have overnight effect. This is a slow strangulation. If you see today, there is news from Pakistan media and there are reports coming out and articles being written on a paper written by Parvez Musharraf when he was in USA on water and how India can strangulate, Pakistan. And there they've come out the true require. Why do they want Kashmir? They don't want Kashmir to liberate Kashmir or liberate Kashmiris and all that nonsense. It's basically to get their water security. They knew that unless they get Kashmir, they don't get water security. That's the whole story. Okay. So it's a long story. Be patient. Hi, good morning to all. Jai Hind, Akash. Let's say this. Good morning. Yeah, thanks a lot. Field Marshal, yes. Shruti Chandok, namaskar. Nice cartoon, thank you. You're going away from mic? I don't think so. I'm staying with the mic only. Yeah, audio is fine. There's no problem. It must be a thing. Okay. Sir, your take on riots in LA by both legal and illegal immigrants and the No Kings protest? Yeah, look, Shritik, I spoke all this day before yesterday with in P Gurus. Have a look at it. Not in P Gurus, it's in Ghana shot only. Is Trump heralding US downfall? Have a look at that. All this question is answered. There's a Lady of the Night parade in Harlem, Muni. Yeah. Good morning, sir. Really funny cartoon again. You're getting better and better. Thanks a lot. Hi, French Fury. The US-Pak binary role and relationship has maintained a constant over 7.5 decades. Despite change in politics, neither has the ability or indication to change this dynamic. Your views, it's up and down. That's what I've been discussing. But now this phase is a little tricky because I don't know whether US is clear what it wants. I don't know whether Pakistan is clear what it wants. And I'm not too sure as to how we are reacting to this whole story. I see a lot of emotion coming out in these reactions, but how are we going to handle this is something which we will see. Let's see. There is news that air defense, Iranian air defense use Chinese technology. Yes, they have a few items, but largely Iranians have done their own trick. Let me tell you this. But they've used a lot of Chinese parts. Even now, they've used a lot of Chinese spares. And there's talk of 2 aircraft which come from China and switched their transponders off and landed and went back and all. That must be a lot of spares. That's how I look at it. Yeah, Iran uses Chinese JY-10 air defense, but it's all useless. In fact, the whole thing, if you see, the Chinese equipment has taken a big hit. Field Marshal went there to buy pizza chain franchise, yeah, and plan out his retirement. Shahbaz Sharif deleted a tweet which he posted after Up Sindoor claiming orders from Azhar for 4.5 billion JF-17 loans, HQ by all. Was it a lie? Yeah, it's all fake. You shouldn't. These are all instinctive reactions which came out immediately after that war. But now the hard reality will start hitting them. Good morning from Germany. Pakistan का ये हाल ये क्या है? कालिया कालिया तेरा अब क्या होगा? I agree with you. अब क्या होगा कालिया? If Americans again land in Pakistan for airbase, they have been demanding, will Balochistan fall under their control, thereby silencing the Baluch? No, it's going to be even more problematic. I've spoken about this earlier, about Balochistan. Have a look at it. Yeah, how big a blunder was American retreat from Afghanistan? Was Afghanistan used in any capacity to maintain presence, disturbance in Iran? Is US trying to use Pakistan as a substitute for Afghanistan? The blunder was huge to quit Afghanistan the way they did. They should have come to a political settlement and continued with it. But, well, that's gone. Pakistan is trying to use, US is trying to use Pakistan as a substitute. It needs Pakistan. And of course, there is an issue of Balochistan, there's an issue of minerals, there's an issue of crypto, there's an issue of China. All this I've spoken of earlier. Nothing has changed in that. Yeah, we saw news of 4 Pakistan F-16s in Iran territory. So are there some F-16? No, don't worry about it. These are all stray news which are coming. Don't worry. About some weird articles about multi-billion deal on planes made in Pakistan. No, forget. These are all gray zone activities or info. Don't worry. Yeah, both Iran and India believe that Russian S-300 will protect them. But you see, in Iran, it's a piece of junk air defense beaten by Israel in 48 hours. Yeah, that's S-300. I agree. We don't have S-300. So don't spread lies. Your cartoons are so cute and convey the message well in a nutshell. Yes. Yeah. सर कुछ समय पहले टेररिस्तान के कुछ लोग इजराइल गए थे, क्या आप बता सकते हैं ये क्या वो क्यों गए? ऑल दिस इज नॉनसेंस है, ये सब आप छोड़ दो. आप डोंट रन आफ्टर ऑल दिस स्ट्रे न्यूज़. Regime change is imminent. Let's see. Cartoon added in your show make absolute fantastic. Yeah, thanks a lot. You have to make it interesting for everything. Zionist TV stations have been hit. Maybe it's going to be a two-way thing, right? Retired general, retired. He, Raho beta. Yeah, you are not a bloody god, yeah. Don't think you are so great. You are a useless fellow. अभी लग रहा है you're from Pakistan. The पाकिस्तान के हो, भिखारी हो, अब भीख मांगते रहो और देख लिया ना वो आपका कार्टून दोबारा देखना. Yeah, deserve subscribers and that's okay, don't worry. People आएंगे अपने आप. If there's a change in leadership, what happens to the north-south corridor? It will go on, don't worry. In fact, it will come in faster. Khomeini either in bunker or in Russia, we don't know. Let's okay. So, any chance the US is playing 3D chess here? Hitting Iran means oil prices hike, which will in turn destroy China's already struck. Yeah, definitely. All this is on the game. Is there any serious thought being put into PR and communication by Indian Defense Forces? There is. There should be, hopefully. Yeah, Fordo looks like Kirana Hill seems hand in glove. Let's see how it comes out. Okay, because there's some blueprint already there with the Israelis. It is rumored that Iranian leadership plans to seek asylum in Russia, so definitely regime change on the bottom. Bad idea to get the Shah progeny back. Let's see, it's a chaos, no? There has to be some stability, there has to be some leader, whom they put, how it happens, what kind of a puppet he'll be. The leadership, the clerics might leave Iran, but what about the radical people of Iran? They have a large following, so that's the larger problem. That is the thing. Don't look at the leadership, look at the people. Look, even in Afghanistan, the leadership was changed, and you had leaders installed by USA for over 10 years, 15 years. Ultimately, the people didn't accept them. Baradar and that guy Abdul Ghani and that fellow before that, they were installed. They won't survive if the people are not. So the people are the issue in this. The people of Iran is the center of gravity. Okay. What is cooking, sir, with nothing? I've explained the whole thing with you. Liquid fuel missiles take 20 to 25 minutes to prepare, I believe, which is why we are now developing. It takes more. Take it from me, it takes more. We got out of liquid missiles way back. By 95, 96, we got out of it. Right. Let me see. Any new guy who's come in. Yeah. अमन बिन खालिद एंटरटेनमेंट भी जरूरी होता है और कार्टून का कार्टून बनाने से आपको क्या समस्या है? We are doing that, don't worry. Yeah, China will certainly sell Iran with all military assets it required to defend itself. We can all clearly see how quickly China is getting share in the arms. That they'll do, that's about all. But China has its own problems, don't worry. I mean, that's a different story. Okay. These Islamic nations overestimating their potential, start a war and then start crying and chicken out soon and shamelessly. That's a normal thing. Standing up a new regime may be challenging, but the current regime could possibly fall, causing an unstable Iran. What implications would this have for Pakistan? Does it benefit us? No, it doesn't benefit us. It doesn't benefit Pakistan. It benefits no one. That unstable Iran will benefit no one. And we'll have to see this instability. That instability will transfer itself onto Pakistan, and this business of Balochistan will gain traction. That's the only thing we can see. Because, one part of, for Balochistan to come, you need an unstable Iran. And that's a condition which has come. That's the only thing I see. If there was a stable Iran, they wouldn't have allowed Balochistan to happen. Now there is a choice. Will that be carved out? Let us see how it goes. India imports 1 million barrels per day from Iran. It doesn't, sorry. It doesn't. We don't import any oil from Iran. Whoever gave you this information is wrong. Yeah, Yogesh, thanks a lot. Please click the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and turn on all notifications. Become member and share your videos. Yeah, I request you all to do that. Yeah, let's Iran asked Arab states to talk to US, not China. That's a blow to China. People can Google. Yeah, I agree with you. No one will talk to China now. No one is talking to China. I agree with you. China is in decline in absolute terms, but it is also in decline in relative terms. Remember that America is in decline too, and India's birth rate is below 2 point. Look, let's talk of that on another day, right? When we do that. Yeah, I think this is India's role is to sit back and enjoy the fireworks. I agree with you. This is a time when you have to take a step back and wait. Yeah, what type of end should this conflict reach for when Iran would want to improve their defense capabilities, a defense deal with us would favorable to us, and then yes, the best thing is a stable Iran with a stable government, a democratically elected government. Will that happen? We'll see. But what we now foresee is a unstable Iran going ahead, even if it ends favorably for them. Yeah, this is right. India pays US for Iraq oil and US pays Iraq. Okay, right. Let me see if there's any interesting question. The Andaman Discovery News, we'll take it, we'll analyze it separately, right? We shouldn't jump the gun. Are we going to strangle with 1,000 rips? Yes. That's the way we should do it. Any update on Bangladesh? Don't worry, nothing is happening there. No, we've actually overestimated the Bangladesh problem. It's now fizzling into an internal issue. Yeah, don't feed the troll. If you don't respond to the troll, he'll waste himself away. I agree with you. If there's any regime change, do you think the Shah regime would support Chabahar port? All that will go through. Don't worry about it. Any regime will go through with the Chabahar port. Don't worry about that. Good afternoon and Jai Hind. Shouldn't we prepare our to handle with things which are happening in Israel-Iran conflict? After all, yeah, that we have to. We have to prepare. We have to think strategically. Because we have issues. Sooner or later, the North Arabian Sea will turn unstable, and there we'll have to act. Yeah, you keep saying that Chinese economy is at the decline and Xi might have to leave soon, but on the other side, we are in talks with China to improve our trade. Yeah, you have to do that, isn't it? It doesn't matter who it is. You already have trade with them. You have to talk to them to reduce, You have to get it into your favor. Border is there. Border problem is something you can't run away from. Just because there's a change in China, you have to prepare. You have to handle today's equation. Just because tomorrow something is going to happen, you don't stop talking to them. It's a constant thing. Great work, General. In future US-China conflict, will India also join in to weak our enemy, or should it? I don't see a US-China conflict happening. I don't think so. I don't think they'll do it. But because I think US has found better ways to handle China. To some extent, it's good for us, a large extent. How it happens, we'll see how it unfolds. We'll talk of it separately. Yeah, will US put sanctions on China and try to maneuver them in the next 5 years after success in Iran? It will happen. Whatever happens in Iran and it settles, the next action is China, and China is already on the anvil. They've already put a lot of sanctions on China. Technology. Sanctions is not economic, technology. What is the trade war all about? China. So, इसके बाद China का number है. What are the prerequisites of Israel before ending this war? Look, Netanyahu said it. Nuclear weapons out. Hidden requirement is regime change. These are the two political aims. Period. Right? So this will go through. This will happen or not, we don't know. But let us see how it goes. Because if Iran takes the political route, they might wriggle out of it. We'll see. Okay, I think we're done for the day. We'll join in the evening and see what's the world which is unfolding in front of us. Till then, have a great time. Thank you for attending in good numbers. Please do subscribe. I suddenly see a drop in subscriptions. Right? Join in. We'll have fun and more cartoons. Thank you. Good evening and Jai Hind to all of you.